Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemist of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cousins in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlamagne and God, it will not stop me. And number 25. Guys, make sure you check out the description box below. There are always additional information, guidance, as well as information about me at honestlysis.com. All right, let's get into it. God, what messages do you have for us to become the tarot, become the alchemist of our life, to help bring heaven on earth, or just to do magic in public? God, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear at this time? Please deliver these messages to me and through me as clear as possible. All right, y'all. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? I hope y'all are feeling well. I am feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? If you ever want to donate to me, all of that information is down in the description box below. 3 cards came out. The 3 cards that came out is gratitude. Universal love shines through the miracles of life all around you. The message that I get off of this is just God is just telling you to just be grateful. Be grateful for your life. Be grateful for what you do have. When you are grateful for what you do have, and when you use what you do have, God will then give you more. I was recently listening to Super Soul, and it was the episode about reward. And she was talking, I can't remember this lady's name, but she was just talking about like how here in America and just, I don't know, like in the world kind of, we're in this attitude of where it's like more and more and more, like what we have is never enough. And we don't realize that that's like a disease, and that makes this, look at it, like our world is literally falling apart because of greed. And so I feel like what God is saying is to just know that you have everything you need. Angel number 222. You don't need anything more. You don't need a bigger house. You don't need to make 50,000 more. Like when you use the stuff that you do have, when you're grateful for the resources that you do have, then you not only feel better because you're not feeling this like anxiety of I need more. Like you get to be able to feel a contentment, and you also signal to the universe that you feel fine. And so God wants to bless you. You know, like it's like, oh, I'm good. Now let's give her the things that she wants. That more, it creates anxiety and resistance, and it makes you feel like you're not doing enough, and that blocks all your blessing. The other message that came out is channel. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. God, that's why God's saying be grateful and to use what you have, because we need each other. Like that's how we're able to grow as humans. Like I've said this before in a video, but it's like, people need to see Issa win the way that she won in order for them to know that what they're doing is okay. People needed to see Jay and B and Drake and all that stuff to let people know that it's okay. Like think about when Kanye first came out. Nobody was rapping like Kanye. Angel number 342. And so now, if you think about it, we have so many kids of Kanye, and it's because he chose to step into his divine power and be like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be me. And he created a new wave. And I feel like God is saying like, that's so necessary. And I've been getting that message a lot. Like we need to step into our individual power. Like we need to just trust our unique self so that we can channel the God-given potential that we have in us, because that's what we have to realize. God, that's how God shows up in the world. God God is in everything, but the only way that he can show up is through us. Like he works through us. He creates through us. And so if you are not being grateful for what you have, or if you're not using what you have, then you're really not using God. And you're really telling God, you're asking God, bless me, bless me, bless me, but yet you're not even using what you have. So you're telling God, what you given me is not enough. How does that sound? It sounds like a little ungrateful. It sounds like a stubborn, spoiled ass white privileged kid, don't it? So I feel like what God is saying is to use what you have, work with what you have, and just operate in this space of gratitude, in this space of feeling like I'm enough and that I'm working in my God-given potential, and then everything that you need will naturally come to you. Last message that came out is Earth Guide. Your sacred calling upon this earth is to simply love and be loved. And last week I heard this message from Dr. Crystal, and she was just not Dr. Crystal, Dr. Crystal. But she was just talking about, like, you know, what if you were a perfectly planted tree, what would you do and how would you move? And that's, again, about being this channel of God. When God brought us here, he put all the seeds and the nutrients and all the things that we were going to have within us. And then he planted us in the environment that we needed to be in order to bloom. And so our job is only to be. Our job is to only do the things that make us feel good and make us contribute love into the world. And when you operate in that way, you exude gratitude and you open up the doors of abundance. Abundance, when your heart's intention is to serve humanity, doors of abundance naturally open up to you. So that's why God is saying you don't have to worry about. And I'm going to go back to our old cards. You don't have to worry about, like, what do I need to do in order to become wealthy? What do I need to do? What type of product do I need to create? What type of business plan? God is saying it's not about that. It's about you tapping into your God-given potential, you using the things that you have, you knowing that you have everything that you need to bring this venture about, doing everything in your power to bring it about, to help better yourself in the world. All the money will come to you. I mean, we heard the saying, angel number 645, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Now God is really giving you the steps and not even giving you the steps, but clarifying that and telling you why that is true. Okay. All right. God, give us one tool that we can use to clarify this message of gratitude, channel, earth guide, and abundance, God. How can we just tap into our God-given potential and create the world as you design? Like, how can we tap into our God-given potential by tapping into our divine inheritance? How can we get to our divine inheritance by using our God-given potential? How do we know that we have God-given potential? How do we trust that we have all that we need? The better my story gets, the better life gets. Begin telling the story of the life you desire, and then add to it details of the positive aspects that you can find that matches those desires. Then embellish your positive aspects by speculating with the good feeling, wouldn't it be nice if examples. You can say things like, only good things come to me and I'll figure it out as I go along. Every time you tell your better feeling story, you will feel better and the details of your life will improve. The better it gets, the better it gets. So what God is trying to tell you is that I feel like for someone, God is asking you to do a new adventure, or you're going down this road and you're just not sure. You're like, I don't see how this makes money. I don't see how this is in alignment with what you want from me. Or what my plans that I have for life, which God is only laughing because fuck your plans. But he's saying, like, that's why it's so important for you to have gratitude when you're going through these challenges. You need to know that if you know that what you're doing is what you feel you are called to do, if you feel as though you are walking in your divine path, like, you know that you are in your heart of hearts, you've had a conversation with God and you feel like you are walking in the path that God has designed for you, and you find yourself going through trials and tribulations, instead of being like, maybe this isn't the path for me, God is telling you to tell yourself, the better it gets, the better it gets. When things are coming your way, God is telling you to say, only good things come to me, or I'll figure it out as I come along, or this is happening to me to make me stronger, or this is only happening to make me better. This is only a period of my life. My life will not always be this way. That's something I tell myself all the time. Instead of speaking life, angel number 937, to my job and how chaotic it is, I've been telling myself, whenever something irritates me, either I'm pregnant with possibility, I'm pregnant with abundance, my change is here, Or I tell myself, this is just a period of my life, and this is just a period of my life, and it will not always be this way. God is telling you, you have control over your life, but first you have to get control over your thoughts. You have to get control over the things and the words that you speak to yourself, the stories that you tell yourself. I really feel like it's necessary for you to start doing morning pages, because for some reason I'm getting the attitude that you have stinking thinking, like you just have a really negative attitude, and God is trying to get you to turn that around. He wants you to start looking at life differently. He wants you to start looking at as though everything is happening in your favor. And if you keep feeling that way, and if you keep acting that way, then the universe has no choice but to give you evidence of that. Okay? Angel number 1037. I am becoming more aware of my feelings about money. Many people protest when we explain the power of telling the story of their finances as the way they want it to be, rather than as it is. That's why God is telling you, opening up the doors of abundance for you. You don't need to have the money right now. You don't need to be connected to the right groups. You don't need to be in the right rooms. You need to be worrying about the stories that you're telling yourself and how you feeling on a day-to-day basis. You need to be trying to do things that make you feel abundant. I had to I was in this habit of just throwing any fucking thing on and walking my dog. And I had to change that. I'm like, no, let me start putting some fucking effort into how I'm walking out this house. Let me start walking out like I care about myself and I love myself, because I am abundant. Yeah, I may be fucked up right now, but I'm not always going to be fucked up. Life is not always going to be this way. So let me start moving and acting that way. Let me prepare for the life that I want. If I want to be this famous writer, director, actor, then I need to start acting like I'm a fucking actor. And the first thing that is, I need to start working on my health. And it ain't about me getting to a certain size. It's just about feeling better, feeling good. I was literally eating bullshit, and my body was cramping. I've never had bad cramps, but my cycles were getting very, very bad. And it was because of the diets and the foods that I was taking in. And so this month I've been drinking a gallon of water. I've been making sure I eat more. And my cycle came, no problems. No pain, no nothing. So it's God is saying, you have the tools, but you have to be aware. You have to be willing to listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to your feelings. Listening to your own emotions. And then acting on it. Many people protest when we explain the power of telling the story of their finances as they want it to be, rather than as it is, because they believe that they should be factual about what is happening. But if you continue to look at lack for what is and speak of what is, that's why I don't ever call myself broke, because I'm not broke. You will find the improvement that you desire. If you want to affect substantial change in your life experience, you must think thoughts that feel different as you feel them. And so what God is trying to get you to understand is that you are a channel, and that the way that you create is through your feelings. The way that, and I'm just getting this, the way that you create, the way that you manifest is through your feelings and the things that you give your power to. And that's why I think I was saying before, you can't do anything from a place of lack or from a place of fear, because that is what you're going to manifest. You're going to manifest lack, and you're going to manifest fear. And that's why God is saying it's so important for you to be aware and to tell yourself a different story, so that when you are working and creating now consciously, you're creating from a place of love and a place of gratitude and a place of healing, and that would naturally open up the doors to abundance to you. Wow. That was pretty beautiful. My intention to unwanted gives more unwanted. And so I feel like for some reason this message is very, very important for two reasons. I feel like it's important because, one, God is trying to get you to understand that the only way he can show up in this world is by showing up through you. That's how important it is for you to follow your intuition and to actually work through bringing certain creations to life, no matter how different it looks, no matter how people judge you, it's going to lead you to abundance. If you're doing what God asked you to do and you're doing something that you feel is going to help you to humanity, no matter how it looks, it's going to eventually lead you to abundance. But I also feel like what God is saying is that the reason why so many of us in the Black community have been living in generational poverty, or it seems like we keep, even when certain people make it, it's never enough. They're like always on this rat race to have more and more and more. It's because of that feeling that you have. You have to change your relationship with money. When you change your relationship with money, it will then open the doors to abundance to you. It's about moving differently. You have to change the way that you feel, and then you have, mind, body, soul. You got to change the stories that you tell yourself. Change how you talk and how you move in the world, and then you will open up the doors to abundance. Then the world has no choice but to give you all those things that you desire. But if you continue to focus on the unwanted, all you're going to do is continue to get unwanted. All right. All right, God, that was pretty clear. And also, it's something about that message that feels very calm. Like, I feel very relaxed as I say that. Like, this isn't something to, like, God's not trying to beat you over the head, and he's also not judging you for it. Like, he just wants you to be aware, like, you can be as abundant as you want to be. You can be as rich as you want. But you have to be aware of your feelings and how you're creating. That's why you can't create from fear. Okay, last message, God. God, clarify this message of gratitude, channel, earth guide, and abundance. God, what are you trying to get us to understand about the better our story gets, the better our life gets? Why is it so important for us to become aware about our feelings of money? Why is it so important for us to stop focusing on the unwanted? And also, God, why do you want us to open the doors to abundance? Like, why is that message so clear? Why is that message so necessary? So you can trust me. He says, so your ass can trust me. Angel number 1701. He said, you don't trust me. So so a lot of us don't trust God because we've lived in poverty. And it's not because we live in poverty, but we see what poverty has done to people in our family and how people have acted out. And so in turn, you have taken that to mean that God doesn't love us because you live in poverty or because he's allowed these things to happen to you. But God is saying, I'm not allowing these things to happen to you. It's just that your family has allowed this to happen to you guys for so long. And now it's on you to break that generational curse and for you to overcome your mindset to break through to the abundance that is naturally destined for you. Designed for you. I want you to get out of this trying to constantly get and just know your birthright is to be abundant. I'm looking at this thing. It says what I'm trying to do here is to get you to relax and not be so preoccupied so that you can respond to God's giving. People who don't know God and the way he works fuss over these things, but you know both God and how he works. Steep yourself in God reality and God initiative and God provisions. You'll find all your everyday human concerns will be met. Don't be afraid of missing out. You are my dearest cherish. I do nothing but to give to you. I think this is the message. What is this? Luke 12:28-32 is the message version. So that's why God is saying, like, for some reason, I feel like you and a lot of us have equated our financial lack to mean that God doesn't love us or God isn't for us, when it's really our attitude, our mentality, and the words that we're speaking that is keeping the abundance from us. And so God's saying, if you just change your attitude, if you just tell yourself a different story, if you just become more mindful about your feelings and how you're moving in your feelings, then you can change your relationship with money and abundance. All right, God, one message. One final message. Allow no room for doubt or confusion. One final message. Okay. The message is at the bottom. Pleiades, double missing, channeling and uplifting humanity. Angel number 1938. I think this is an activation card. Pleiades. All right. Final message, 1201. The Pleiadians are a group of stars being dedicated to the raising. Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at a soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Channel came out twice, guys. Clarification. Confirmation. Your work is divinely guided. Of all of the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part. Your presence and your unique light is given. The age of light, you've been training lifetimes for this. I feel like somebody on this channel, I feel like you are a healer, or you are a speaker, or you need to write a book, or you need, like, it's something that you need to create in the world. God wants it. He wants you to bring this book to life. I think it's a book. I feel like it's a book. That's going to open your door to abundance, that book. Okay. Look at the card. Touch and agree with me as I say this. Angel number 2120. I call upon Pleiadian's consciousness of the higher realms and the highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. I call upon the Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and the highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. I call upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and the highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. Guys, if that is your hope and your wish, put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. God, we open up our heart, body, minds, and souls to allow this universal consciousness and its divine blessing to reign upon us, God. God, we ask that you remove any fear from our hearts, any fear from our soul. We ask that you uproot all of those self-limiting beliefs and allow us to step into our divine power, God. God, we ask that you help us to help us bring heaven on earth, God. God, we want to be used as a channel, God. We want to be used as a vessel. Use us, God. Work through us, God. We love you, God. In God's name we pray. Ashe. All right, y'all. Angel number 2242. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe so you will never miss out. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, 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 ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Angel number 23. Namaste. I really feel like we're about to bring heaven on earth. Shit's about to get good.